Hi, welcome to RoseOpalKnits, our crafty podcast.
This is episode 57, and I'm Daphne.
And I'm Erica, and we are a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law duo from Delaware. And today, the day that we are recording this, is March 26th. And it's sunny, but it's kind of chilly.
Yeah.
And windy.
Yeah.
So, hey, how you doing? Welcome. If you are returning, we just want to say thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much. And if you are new, we hope you stick around and you enjoy what you see and you consider subscribing. So today, I have knitting and cross stitch.
I have knitting and crochet.
And then we have a couple purchases and acquisitions and some podcast recommendations. So let's get into the crafty goodness. I don't really have a finish. I kind of have a finish, but I don't.
We're going to talk about what we're wearing first, though.
I remembered. I remember just when I said, ooh.
Here, mine's older, so I'll go first. Mine's the Tecumseh.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to coffee. Mine's the Tecumseh by Caitlin Hunter, and I did it 2019, 2020? When did I do it? 2020?
Yeah, 2020.
2020? And I used Lion's brand Heartland in the Grand Canyon, Yosemite, and Black Canyon colors. So.
And I'm wearing the Dureco, and it's a pattern for Barocco, and I used the recommended yarn, which is Barocco Remix Light. I don't remember the colorway, but it'll be in the description box below. All our show notes will be in the description box below, and where you can find us on the social media, things like that. And all the information for our make-alongs and any shops that have given us coupon codes, they will all be in the description box. So check it out. Okay. Should have done that in the beginning. All right. So finished objects.
I have 5. Yeah, 5.
All right. Go ahead. Get started, girl.
2 of them are the same. Okay. Yeah, 2 of them are the same, which are these little dolls. So this is one I was working on last time. I don't remember. I had all the body parts done, not sewn together. So I did the romper thing. It's like just crossed in the back. And the hat. So the hats do come off. And so do the clothes. But she's also supposed to have a little sewn mouth. Just like a little black one that you're supposed to sew on with just like sewing thread, like normal thread. DMC, anything basically. It's just supposed to be a little black mouth, but I kind of like them without it. So, and this one's Paisley, it's the orange one. And this one is going to a friend who is having a baby girl. Her baby shower is tomorrow. So she'll get this tomorrow. And it's the same. And the only difference is this one has a tag. So they're super cute. It is the Flower Sprite. I forget who it's by. Critter Stitch is the Instagram name at least.
Well, the information will be across the screen, to have been across the screen.
But yeah, so they're super cute. Paisley can finally have hers because I gave it to her the first day I finished, and she chewed on the legs already. So her feet are dirty, but they're fine. They'll be fine.
I want to interrupt to say we have children being supervised by adults outside playing, and so if you're wearing headphones, you might hear some background noise. Sorry about that, but this is our real life, and this is what happens every day at our house. So
pretty much. All the yarn that I used was Serdar Snuggly cotton. Mm-hmm. So this is a tag. All the colors are listed. So if you really want to know, they're there. Mm-hmm. So there's those 2. And then I finished, I'm going to talk about these together too. I finished these 2 pairs of socks. So here are the first 2. And another pair, matching socks are here. But they're both the same. They're both fingering weight yarns held double on a US 4 with 44 stitches and then 1x1 ribbing, vanilla sock, heel flap and gusset, and a wedge toe. So the sparkly yarn is Clark & Nell December 2020 colorway. And then this one is Yarnable January of this year's color. It's a Bougie New Year.
How many rounds did you do in between the cuff and the heel?
10.
10.
10 row cuff, 10 row leg, and then the foot.
Okay.
So.
All right.
They're all done, just so you know. And then the last thing I finished, hold on, this is fine, was this blanket. It's the Claire's Baby Blanket by Tara Kennan, or TB Kennan. It's one or the other on Ravelry. But so I always wear that donut is.
A loop through a loop, right?
Yes, loop through a loop. And so I finished the seed stitch and then did the...
All right. I'll hold it. You talk.
And the cables. I did take out the wraps because there's supposed to be a section in between here and the cables, but I was worried my tension would be completely off, so I just took them out. So, and it's plenty big enough for a baby blanket. And this is also for the friend who's having a little girl that will get it tomorrow. So, but that's all my finished objects.
All right. I wonder if the camera's shaking every time you do.
Oh, maybe.
I don't
Sorry.
know. I have a sorta finished object. Not quite 100% finished, but almost. So last episode, if you watched it, I had fallen into a dishcloth knitting period. And I had this one already knitted. I used up the rest of this color. So since the last episode, I finished the dishcloth. This is Grandma's Second Favorite Dishcloth by PJ Allen. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I do modify it just a bit. I do the no holes version. And I knit to 47 stitches before I start decreasing. And I knit it on a US 8 needle size. I forget the colors, but they're on my pattern page on Ravelry. Yeah, what else? So I said it's almost finished because I didn't weave in my ends. And then I started another dishcloth. So this is where I am. And I think I'm kind of getting out of the dishcloth knitting kick for now. But I did, these are acquisitions, but I'll show them because they're in the bag. So this is my dishcloth knitting bag. This is a bag by Noble Character Crafts. And I ordered 2 more balls of Dishy. It said these were new colors on the website. So this is usually, there it is, Inlet and Colonial Rose. So, and actually I think I remember the blue, this is how much I have left of this blue. And I think this is called Azure, maybe. But, so, there's my dishcloths. How many whips do you have?
4-ish.
All right, that's what I have too now after talking about my dishcloths.
Okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Yeah, let me talk about my cross stitch fail.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this year for the first time I am doing Whip Go, which is like a bingo for your cross stitch whips. It was started by Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on YouTube. And she has a Facebook group. I didn't join the Facebook group to do it because I try to control my social media time. But so for Whip Go, the month of March, she calls 2 numbers every month. And she called 2 numbers and they happen to be the same project. And so my goals for my monthly Whip Go goals are to spend 5 days, stitching time for 5 days of that month. So I had 10 days total to work on this project. And I've worked on it a total of 7 so far. So this is the project. It's a brand new start. I'm not going to try to say it. I'll just hold it up there. and it's my first sampler. And I am using all the called for DMC. They're in this bag right now. I'm not super organized with it. And I'm just, as I came to a color, I would just wind it on this tag that I bought from Amazon. And my fabric is from 2-Dye-4 Fabrics. It's a 36 count linen, and the colorway is Trail Dust. So let me show it to you. There are strings. Oh, that's the back. Okay. So here it is so far. I started with a center start. Oh gosh, did you see the color? I meant the lighting. I started with a center start and worked my way down because I bought the smallest cut of fabric that I could get that it would fit on. So my top and bottom margins are only going to be about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, somewhere in there. So I wanted to work down to the bottom, and I didn't have it centered quite right. But I messed up. Oh, I held my fabric wrong to start with. I got the V in. I think this is the V. Had to frog it, had to start over. So I was like, well, I'm going to work down to the bottom and get this started down here. And I did that. And then realized that I didn't stay in the row. I had jumped over 3 rows. So they're in the same row here, but it's not the same row on the chart. So I need to frog. Again, a lot right in here. And since I'm not happy with the placement, like I think I have a more margin on top than I do on the bottom, I'm going to just start over completely, and I'm going to start from the top left-hand corner, I think, and work down the border on the side and try to situate it in the right spot. So anyway, this is a fail for this month. I mean, I worked on it 7 days. I have a few more days this month to get to 10 days, but those last 3 days are going to be spent just frogging out that stitching.
It takes that long to do it?
Well, just my stitching sessions. It does, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought you were going to say, like, it takes, like, all that time to do it.
So I homeschool. Right now I currently only have an 8th grader that's, like, in formal homeschooling because my 5-year-old daughter has an October birthday, so she's technically a preschooler. But so I only stitch when my 8th grader is reading his textbooks aloud to me, and we have discussion time and stuff like that. So it's only like a 45-minute, hour-long period of time a day, Monday through Friday. So that's my tale of woe for cross stitch. Wah, wah. All right.
I'll talk about this because it's also crochet. So we were watching Nitty Natty. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about her float totes. And then we were like, I said I wanted one. And then she was like, I want one too, but I'll never make it, basically. And I was like, I kind of want to go get yarn to make it. And then she's like, I got some, it's...
Sugars and cream?
Yeah, this is sugars and cream that I'm using. But she says to use like a stiff cotton for it. So it's just sugars and cream in a bunch of different colors. And so she had scraps of it. And then we were like, that's not even enough. She had like 300 grams, and you need like 900. So I went to Michael's and bought a bunch more.
Like, she literally was like, I'm going to go to Michael's right now. And I was like, well, go. Theo was sleeping. I think
Theo was asleep in the swing in the other room. Holden was doing something for school. And Mason and Paisley were napping in their room. Mm-hmm. So literally, and we were playing Mario, because Tom came in the room and was like, you want to play Mario Kart? I'm like, sure. Yeah. So he turns off Knitting Natty anyways. Mm-hmm. But I was still already in the mindset of making these float totes and needing cotton. So I was like multitasking, and then lost the race, and I was like, I'm done. And decided to go to Michael's.
Okay, so that was a big jump. So we had been watching Nitty Natty, started the conversation about the float totes, and continued the float tote conversation over a span of time.
Yeah.
In that time, Thomas, my second son, Daphne's married to my oldest son,
Yes.
Holden. So Thomas, my second son, who was 18, came down and asked if she wanted to play Mario Kart while we continued to talk about the float tote. So that's how this all came about.
But I was like, literally, I was on a time crunch to do those dolls, and I was like, I don't want to do this. So I like stopped it and bought new crochet stuff instead of just finishing the first crochet project.
But she finished it all, so that's okay.
But anyways, so this is the bottom of hers, and I am making the 5-skein float tote. So all the colorful purples and stuff is what she had.
Our scraps.
So, yeah, those are the scraps. And I only have 2 more colors left of that, so this is the color I'm on. We don't know the colors of these ones. So there's this one, and then there's this one. And I have like 2 balls of this, but they're not full balls. And then the color I got from Michael's for her is this one. It's just indigo to hold double, because you have to hold a double all the way through it. So all the colors are being held with the indigo. So that's what that looks like. And then the contrast color, main color,
For the top color, yeah.
is going to be white. So I have a bunch of that. And that was also in her stash.
Yeah, I had a cone of white.
Yeah.
Because several years ago, I knitted a white cotton apron, lace apron for my sister-in-law. And so I had leftovers on the cone, and then for some reason I had another ball of white. But Daphne's making the float tote for me, but she's not, or knitting, I said, crocheting the float tote for me, but I don't want the cups. I don't want the yarn cups.
I'm not making the cups.
If you are familiar with the float totes, they have cups that you can put your different balls of yarn into, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
But I just want the tote itself.
Right now it's in my needlecraft bag because I decided to take my twigs out of this.
Yes.
And give her the yarn.
Yes.
I'm not making the twigs anymore.
I purchased the yarn that she was using for her twigs at a discounted price. And I have sweater plans for it. So from one sweater knitter to another.
It's been on the needles for so long, and I'm not in love with the colors, so I was like, I'm done with it. I don't want it. But anyway, so back to the float totes. These are my colors that I chose. This one is Desert Rising, and then this one is Warm Chocolate, Warm Brown. So, but those ones are mine. It's part of that. But, so, those will be done eventually. Who knows when. I might decide I don't want to crochet anymore. But yeah, so that's my crochet right now.
All right, so I guess I'll show you. So at the beginning of the year, I had said that I was going to work on my Christmas sweater the week that the 25th falls on, or at least at some time during the week that the 25th falls on every month until it's done. So this is the week, the 25th was yesterday. So I worked on this sweater a total of 3 days. And this is, all right, we had an interruption. And but we're back now. So my Christmas sweater pattern is from this book, and it is that. So I am knitting the entire sweater in Barocco Ultra Wool DK, and this is the main color for the body. Here is my sweater. The green is pine and the red is sour cherry. And the last time I showed it,
It's on the other side.
Oh, I was there in the sleeve. So I finished one sleeve, but then I did not feel like knitting the other sleeve. So I went back to the body and knit, I don't know, an inch?
Yeah, an inch and a half.
Yeah,
roughly.
an inch. So this sweater is going back in the bag until next month. But I did make some modifications to this sweater. I've talked about it quite a bit, and I changed up the color work a little bit because the yoke, color work yoke was designed with 5 colors. I only have 3, and I added a couple rounds to the color work. Did I split for the sleeves early?
Probably, you normally do.
I do normally. I can't remember if I did or not, but so you'll see this again in April. It'll come back out.
Maybe by Christmas we'll wear them together.
And it's Holding It in This Bag by Molly Klein Design.
Right. I'm going to talk about socks, but this is also part of our sock make-along because I'm going to add a stripe later, which is a Scrappy sock along on Instagram.
The hashtag will go across the screen.
So it's just...
And you don't have to finish your socks, just, participate in the make-along. You need to, you have to use multiple yarns. So, at least 2 yarns or more.
Yep.
So...
Anyways, so this is my sock. It's the Journey sock by Lana. I forget the last name, but just shorties, basically. And that's how far I am. The yarn is Rose Hill yarn, and it was one of the mystery skeins from Christmas that she got me. I lost the band, but for the record, the kids get my bags, and then someone ends up trying to eat my tags. So I don't know which one this is, but I can figure it out. So this is what it is. It's very pretty. And then the stripe is going to be this color, which is the contrast that came with it. So, and I'm thinking about doing it right before the toe.
Okay.
Like do like 6 rounds right before the toe and then going back to this color. Mm-hmm. Because I want to use the set together too for myself. But I want to put a stripe in here too because it goes with the yarn. So I feel like it needs to be with the yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And these are for my aunt. I didn't say that, but they're for my aunt because we're going to Alabama in April and we're staying at their house. So as a gift, I'm going to make them both a pair of socks. So these are for my aunt. But yeah, that's it. And it's in a Mountain State Stitches bag.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I will talk about my socks. They're in a Mountain State Stitches bag too. This is an old one.
Yeah, I don't think she
does
makes
zippers anymore?
at all anymore.
Mm-hmm. So, and I have started my Scrappy sock. Here it is. It's a shorty. 64 stitches on a US 1.5. And I am using 10-gram minis that I got a whole bunch in this bag that I got this month from Row 1. So the dyer is Polka Dot Sheep. I think I showed them in the last episode.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm almost finished with this 10-gram mini, and then I'm going to...
Are you using the whole 10 grams?
Yeah. So I used 5 grams or 4 grams, I think, for this. Okay, so I used 4 grams up here. I think it's 12 rounds. And then I went to the second 10 gram. I'm going to use the entire 10 grams. And when it runs out, I'm going to go to this one and use the entire 10 grams and see where I wear a woman's 10.5, 11 shoe size. So I have quite a big foot. It's not wide, but it's long. So I don't know how many 10-gram minis I need. And like I said, I only used about 4 up here because the second sock is going to have the brown cuff, and then it'll have this variegated color and this green. And then depending on how much left of the sock I have, if I only need like about 5 grams, less than 5 grams to finish off the foot, then both socks will end in this color. Kind of like start in the same color and end in the same color. That's my plan. I don't know if it's going to work that way, so we will see. if it doesn't work out that way, then I'll revisit the plan. But, so, is there anything else to say? I don't think. So I'm knitting these for myself. And do you have one more? Or
I have two more.
Two more. I have one more.
But
okay.
these two are like at the same spot as each other. Well, a little bit less. Mm-hmm. But I decided to cast on more sweaters. So my first one's in this bag. It's Dolphin Collections on Etsy. And I decided to do the Gracious sweater because she's doing it. And I was like, that's a good way to use up some of my hand-dyed stuff without having to make a million pairs of socks, because I can get 2 pairs of socks for myself out of each skein because I only wear a size 7. So my feet are kind of small. But anyway, so I literally just started this and I'm still in the ribbing. So I have a couple more rounds. But this first color is this one. And it's Allison Pip in the Daylily color. It's very pretty. So should I go through all my colors real quick?
You're knitting the size 2?
Yeah, I'm knitting the second size on a US 5 for the ribbing, and I think I'm on a 7. Yeah, US 7 for the body. So, here, I'll go through my colors real quick. So, Daylily is first, and then second is Sweet Mountain Crafts, Jackie Lantern, and then Woolberry Fiber Co. What's it called? Holiday Hangover. And then the fourth color is Yarnable, February of this year. It is Raspberry Cream. Pretty sure. Yeah, Raspberry Cream. So those are my colors. And they play off of, you can't really tell in these, but in the hanks you could. But they like play off of each other more so than together. So, I mean, like if I get to this color and it doesn't really go together, then I'll figure something out. But that's the plan for right now, is where I'm going. And I only worked on it for a day, and then decided I want to cast it on another sweater. So,
do you want to talk about that one now, or should I go into mine? Okay,
That's
so I worked more on my Gracious sweater. I am using Mystery Skein. Well, they were mystery. It was like a mystery club, Hunger Games club, with Yarnberry yarns in 2020. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, and I've talked about it before. So I'm knitting the size 3. Currently using a US 6 needle, and oh my word, the last time I showed it, I was up here.
You did a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you knit that much.
So in between my colors, I am putting a 4 round stripe of this gray Coops Knits sock. Yeah, I have 2 of these, so one's caked up. And but so there it is. I finished all of the yoke increases and split for my sleeves. This first color is called Caesar Flickerman. The second color is called Boy with the Bread, which is Pita. And then there's another gray stripe right down here. And I've attached the third color, which is Primrose Everdeen. And it's just a comfortable, easy knit. You just knit in the round. So I hope to finish it in April.
Really?
I do. I don't know if I will. I hope to.
Fingering weight sweaters aren't really my thing.
But it is in this house by Delightful Work. Susan of Delightful Works gifted this to me in, was it December? No, yes. November last, I don't know, 2021. Sometime at the end of 2021. And it's going to stay in this bag until it's finished.
Alright, my last thing is in a just little bag from Hobby Lobby. The yarn is also Hobby Lobby. It's Yarn Bee 44th Street in the mustard color. And I have 3 balls of this. So I'm holding it double to do the bean and olive with no color work. Just to come, and I found out that there is a pattern by Andrew Mowry that looks just like the bean and olive with no color work, but I already cast it on and I already started going. So
you're using the sizing and the numbers
Yeah.
from the bean and olive, but you're omitting the color work.
Yeah. So that's how far I am. It's just the ribbing so far. I'm knitting second size, I think, second or third. But this is how far I am on, and I'm on a US 6. So I'll go up to a US 8 for the body. But yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's not much to say about my sweaters right now. I literally have ribbing.
All right. Well, that's it for what we've worked on the last 2 weeks. But real quick, I'll go over our podcast recommendations before we show our acquisitions. So the history of this is that we used to give podcast recommendations when we first started the podcast, but then we kind of fell out of the habit of doing it. And I was inspired to start again by a floss tube, which is cross stitch podcast on YouTube. That's what they call it, floss tube. Called Our Stitchy Kingdom, and I'll link to her channel below. And they have a under 1,000 subs club, and they just encourage people to go see these channels that don't have 1,000 subscribers, and see if they like them and subscribe, give them support. And I asked for podcast recommendations in the comments, and I've been enjoying reading all of the podcast recommendations. And you know what I really like is when somebody will leave a comment under someone else's comment and say, oh, I'll go check that out, or I enjoy that podcast too. Or when I go to that channel, I see someone that said, I found out about this podcast in the comment section of Rose Opal Knits. And I just, it's just, that's what this is. This is a community, and we're all have the same, we enjoy these crafts, and I don't know. Anyway, so we've got 3 today, and the first one was Honeybird Studio, and it was recommended by Grammy Angie 4S. And Honeybird Studio is Jenny from Canada. She is close to 1,000 subscribers. At the last time I checked, she had 916. She currently has 12 episodes. She is a knitwear designer, or she designs knitting patterns, and she knits some beautiful sweaters. So we watched her newest episode, and she had a break, like maybe a 5-month break in between her last episode and the newest one that just came out. I think it was this month, wasn't it?
Something
real recent?
like that, yeah.
So she had a lot of finished objects. So if you love seeing finished objects, especially finished sweaters, and she had quite a few hats, then definitely check out her podcast. And then we also watched Knit Now, Swatch Later, which was recommended by Alexandra of Fiberbound. And she is Courtney from Pennsylvania, USA. And she is also the shop owner, maker and shop owner of White Rose Fiber Co., which is where I got this project bag from. So I didn't even know she had a podcast. I just knew
she said it on the podcast, and she's like, wait, what?
That's that bee bag I have. So I knew about the shop, but didn't know about the podcast. And that's why, getting recommendations is great. So she knits, crochets, she sews, and she talks about books. So if you want to check her out, I don't remember how many subscribers she had. I didn't write it down. But and then the last one we checked out was Naughty Yarnies, and Naughty Yarnies was recommended by the channel owner, or the channel, I don't know. So that's Barb from Ontario, Canada, and she's close to 1,000 subscribers too. The last time I checked, she had 946, which has gone up. Hold on one second. Oh, sorry about that. My 5-year-old daughter walked in. So I don't, her subscribers, she has 946 subscribers. She has 100 videos, and she separates her knitting and crochet videos. So she has both. If you're just into knitting, then you can just watch her knitting videos. If you're into just crochet, you could just watch her crochet videos, or you could watch both. And she recently had uploaded a very short video where she shows off her new recording area, which is kind of like a new crafty space for her. And also in December, she had a fun haul video that I watched. So I guess it's like a 2-hour drive to her closest local yarn store, and her husband took her there and I think treated her with some yarn for her Christmas. But so yeah, that's Honeybird Studio, Knit Now, Swatch Later, and Naughty Yarnies. And the links to those channels will be below. All right. You want to talk about your
Yeah, I can. Hold on, I'm missing something.
acquisitions?
I lost one. Where'd it go? Oh. I lost one.
Right in front of her.
No, these aren't them.
Oh, no?
No. Huh.
Okay, well, while you're looking, I'll talk about mine real quick. So we combined a Knit Picks order, and I showed my new Dishy already. But then Knit Picks is discontinuing this yarn. This is the Shadow Lace Weight, 100% merino. And I think these were $3 a skein. So I bought 3 of this color, which is Robin, and 3 of this color, which is Flicker, and I plan on holding them together and knitting a marled sweater. That's my plan. Not anytime soon. But that's what I'm going to do with it. It was just such a good deal, I couldn't pass it up. Yep.
Is that all you got?
That's all I bought.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Here, I'll talk about Knit Picks too. So, Knit Picks Felici was also on sale. So, these are the 2 colors I got. This is Rustic Cabin, and this is Friendly Skies. And it is a self-striping yarn. I got 2 balls of each. I only brought 1 of each up, though. So, they're very pretty.
Dropping yarn.
Yeah, I am. Alright. And then I bought more Knitting for Olive because I finished the Crescendo sweater that I was wearing last podcast, and I still had like 3 balls left. And then Penrose Knits, Laura from Penrose Knits on YouTube, is coming out with the Chunky Souffle, which is a sweater pattern with like a ruffle detail right here, and I want it so bad. But it comes out in May. Hopefully, it's the goal. It's in testing right now, but it comes out in May. So I got more Knitting for Olive. I only bought 4 more so I could knit the sweater because based on the recommendations that she said during her test knit call, this is enough. And then all I'm going to do is hold it with Yarn Bee 44th Street in a pink color instead of gray. So I got 4 of these. And then, while I was at Michael's the other day, I picked up this. It's wool-like. It's loops and threads. Goodness. Wool-like. And it is going to be held double for a Providence tee, which is actually one that we saw on Jenny's podcast. Which one was that? The first one?
Honeybird Studio.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this color, I don't know the color actually. Teal Lake is what it is. And then, I forgot to show this last time, but I got a Dream Smooshie in Leather Wave for my uncle's socks that I was talking about earlier. And then I also went to DC this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
It was the past weekend.
Okay.
Last weekend.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, and I found this. It's Craft Me Not Yarn Co. And I've never heard of it before. And this is called Pollen. But it's very pretty. So, those are my yarns.
I got together last night with 3 of my oldest friends. And we got together to celebrate my sister-in-law's birthday and my birthday. So my sister-in-law is included in one of my 3 oldest friends category. And She has a birthday in February and mid-February, and I have a birthday beginning of April. So we try to get together sometime in March to celebrate both of the birthdays. And so I got a couple I got some fantastic gifts, and parts of the gifts were crafty related. So my one friend, Renee, bought me this shirt. And it's so funny because that's my black cat right there. That's totally what he looks like. And I do. That's what I do. I read books and I knit and I know things. So that's a great t-shirt. And then she also bought me 52 weeks of socks. So that's awesome. I wasn't expecting that at all. But I knit her socks. She's like one of the people that I knit socks for. She was like, I love my socks, and I saw that book and I had to get it. So, and then my friend Julie, she's a knitter, and we talk about her.
I feel like every other episode she comes up, at least.
And her mother-in-law sews, and she asked her mother-in-law to sew this bag for me. And it's perfect colors for me. This is actually a pocket, so that's awesome. And it has a zipper, this polka dot lining, and then there's pockets all the way around the insides.
That's very cool.
One big pocket and then some smaller pockets. And then she had the bag stuffed full of stuff. But she gave me, one of the things was this alpaca. This is 150 yards of 100% Surrey. So that's fun. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it yet, but...
you could do color work with it.
Yeah. She purchased this pattern for me. And the linen to go with the pattern. The buttons, the decorative buttons. And... all of the DMC. So that's awesome. I don't know when I'll start it, but it might not be till 2023. Oh my goodness. But I love it. It's great. And so that's it. That's what we've got. And if you've made it this far, thanks. It was a bit of a mess, but that's what every day of our life is like. So thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, well, they're going on vacation.
We don't leave until after Easter.
That's right.
Easter week is when we're supposed to podcast. That's right. Again, so
we're gonna record a little early and upload a little early, and that way, Holy Week leading up to Good Friday and Easter Sunday, we would normally upload during that week, but we're gonna take the week off. Yeah. So instead of on a Tuesday,
it'll probably be like Saturday.
It'll probably be Saturday. Yeah, but so it'll be before 2 weeks. Right?
Yeah, a little bit early.
Yeah.
But not like a whole bunch early.
No. All right, so we hope you have a great 2 weeks, and see you then. Bye.